Guys, before we get going, you know what we got to do. We got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you to Tony, Starla, Luke, Jacob, Jeff, Adam, Chuck, and Justin. Thank you guys so much for continuing this support for the show. And if you want to help support the show, come join the Patreon family right now. Go to patreon.com/AITDpod to sign up today. You get ad-free episodes. You get some stories that Luke's not able to tell on the podcast, and some phone call some extra phone call conversations that Luke and I have if you want a little extra more of all in the delivery here. So come join today. Also, the Discord chat's bumping. Man, we're a good time. Come join us, guys. It's great. I mean, we see new people like every week now. So it's pretty cool, the little community that we're building over there. But enough about that stuff. Episode 172 is about to get underway, guys. I've been on a little bit of a roll, sort of, predicting Rangers games because they just suck.
Nostradamus.
Call me Dave Stradamus.
Nice.
That's terrible. That was Luke's got some John Candy that he wants to talk about. Also, 130-pound mattresses getting thrown over the shoulder. Also, I might have a new route. Maybe I bid on it, but we'll see if I get it. We could talk about that a little bit. Also, there's going to be a new feature that's going to be released soon to the Dyad. We're going to talk about that as well. We got that one for you guys. Also, there was an unfortunate accident that happened today on Thursday, October 23rd, down in Texas. Actually, 2 drivers, and that have sadly passed away while en route. And so we'll get to that one. Also, the question of the week this week, guys, we're going to read all of that as well. The question of the week this was a good one, brought to you by one of our Discord members. So, hey, see what you can do. If you have a question of the week idea for us, come join the Discord. Come throw it in the chat. And, we'll put it up there. But the question of the week this week was winning the lottery, and then how would you retire if you won the lottery? So, all that and more. Episode 172. Here we go. We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back. Boom. Drove off. Yep. Left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
And what's up, everybody? And thank you for joining us on another episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 172. I have to apologize in advance because I am somewhat sick and my voice just cracked. And I don't know what's going on. I'm over here just trying to lubricate my throat right now. And, man, fuck. I'm struggling. But, struggling in a sick way, but rocking in a betting way. Anyways, guys, let's go across the screen, shall we? To my co-host down in West by God, Virginia. Come here, let me see you. Luke, how are you, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm doing so good. As soon as you finished that, I remembered that you were sick. And I thought, man, and remember, this is what we do for you guys, because I'll tell you, there's been in 172 episodes, I'll never forget, because I will, before to get into how the week is going, I can remember, and it's crazy that we're coming up on that time because the year's almost over, but I can remember when we were pre-recording one of the December episodes for last year. Now, to give some of you the behind the scenes, November, like this time is probably about the busiest time we have as far as podcasting goes, because we basically try to get we do we've been successful doing it every, knock on wood, every year we've been able to pre-record episodes with, mostly with guests. I think it's always been with guests so far, that we've, when we put them on in December. So we don't actually record anything in December at all until we do the Christmas live. And that's the first time. And then that's normally either the last episode of the year or the first episode of the new year, for the people that missed that. But I remember last year when we had Moore, who was such a great guest, a member of the Discord.
That was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Holy
I know.
shit.
Maybe one of the greatest endings of all time in like in the dark humor way, because the cat that she liked the most, that I hadn't announced it yet, but it like just died. But she the fucking cockroach kitty, for people that don't follow me on Instagram, they're probably like, man, he's laughing about this cat. This cat literally cheated death for years. So it was, when it finally went, it's the only animal I can say in my entire career that I'm like, man, finally, love that cat. But damn, I mean, if you do follow me, he looked bad. But anyway, with Moore's episode, dude, I think I was sick the whole time we pre-recorded, because I think we did everything. We crunched it in like a 2 or 3 week period. And dude, for Moore's episode, I felt so shitty. Dude, I was laying in bed, because we did it because she's on Central Time or Mountain Time.
Mm-hmm.
She's, a different time zone than us. Dude, I was laying in bed waiting, like we were recording it like 10 something, dude. It was like 9:45. I was laying in bed. I had my alarm set for like 9:55. And dude, Ashley came in and she's like, just tell him you can't do it. Like, I'm like, no, this is a guest episode. And this is a December episode. Dude, and I got up, man, and fucking walked downstairs, and we recorded that episode. I'll tell you, I felt fucking rough.
Team No Days Off over here on the podcast, man.
Yeah, dude. We'll take days off from work, but the fucking UPS only wishes we had the same level of commitment to their. We're good drivers, but anyway, as
I'm
far
still
as
working, even though I'm a little sick, but that's it.
Yeah, he hadn't taken no time off.
No.
I feel like I've been working that 6-punch last week, man. Makes me this week's going by well, but dude, it's been kind of a whirlwind, because Monday was so, like, when you wake up and think it's Sunday, and then you realize it's Monday, and then you walk in and you work about 11 and a half hours, man. It's a rough way to start the week. But as we record, it's just about over. We got one more day to go, but it hasn't been too bad. Just more, it cooled down substantially. It's like down to our high today was like 50 degrees. And it's been like, I don't know, like I'm not quite ready for winter. I realized I wasn't that acclimated, because normally 50 degrees doesn't faze me. But man, I had the door shut. I was cold. I felt like I was a driver in Florida, like with 50-degree weather. I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, what am I going to do when it's like fucking 10 degrees? I'm going to be in trouble. But now the week's been good, and just continuing it. Got some weekend plans. We're going to go, do some Halloween stuff with Willow and have a good time. So yeah, looking forward to it.
That's good. Yeah, the past week's been all right. The sickness ran through the household. Literally started with my boys, started with my youngest, and worked its way all the way up. Literally. My 4-year-old had it first, then my 7-year-old, then my wife, and now here I am.
Just climbing up the family tree, man.
Just climbing up the family ladder there, man. But
it's weird, dude. You can have that, but COVID didn't get you for the longest time.
Yeah, I know.
It's been years.
Crazy. But yeah, but yeah, no, the week's been good. I feel like it went by fast. I don't know about you, because you had that 6 months last week, but I feel like this week's gone by quick.
It has. I absolutely agree with you, and I'm
okay
even with that
that's
6 months.
totally fine.
Oh, hell yeah,
we like
dude.
wake up Monday and we're just like, here we go again, another week. And then Tuesday's just like, meh. Wednesday's meh. We get to Thursday, we're like, okay, I can see it. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel here, And I feel like I was just saying, it seems like on Fridays, you just had that little extra step just to get it done. And
Right.
So looking forward to that tomorrow. And I mean, something else I can get into it. Something else I'm looking forward to too is there was 2 routes that ended up going up for bid in my building. And just to give a little background story about it, I was on a route for 6 years, and I got bid off it by someone with higher seniority than me about 2 years ago. And since then, I've kind of floated from 2 different routes right now. I was on one route, another route went up for bid. I bid that one to get off that one because that one just made me struggle. The one I'm on right now currently isn't bad. It's a fairly easy route, country route. That's the way I like it. And the route that went up for bid is a route that I used to cover a lot when I was a cover driver. And I said to myself, I was like, this is probably one of the best routes out here in this area, in this loop. And so that route went up for bid this morning. I threw my name on it. And I feel like I would be happier out there for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different scenarios and thinking how it'd probably be better off too. So, for my happiness and whatnot. I don't want to hate my job because that's what that one route was making me do when I had to get off that one previously. Like I was starting to hate my job, and that's very unlike me. But
I know, man. It was. I didn't.
Dude,
it was a weird transition. It was a weird transition because I'm like, man. I was like, he's fucking acting. He's so doom and gloomy. I feel like I was looking in the mirror. I'm just fucking with you.
But yeah, I believe that route's going to come down on Monday. So we'll see if anybody above me happens to take it. But if not, it looks like Davey will have himself a new route just before peak season. And I'm looking forward to it. So fingers crossed. Hopefully I get it. So
it's funny because we were saying if it would go next week, like your last vacation, your birthday's coming up, and I'm like, hey, I'm the new driver, I'm your new guy, but I won't be here next week. So see you, motherfuckers. We'll get better time to be acquainted later.
Hey,
I'm gonna be fucking out of here.
I got business to attend to.
Yeah, right.
But
man, yeah,
that's. I'm excited. I'm hopefully I'll snag that one and. Better times ahead.
Well, I mean, to keep the delivery, to keep the delivery content going because it's in the docs here. But I will say, I know to go to people that aren't to touch a little bit more on what, like, going back to where an area you're familiar from or familiar with. While it's not your actual route, it's one that, like, dude. When you haven't been in an area or you're like doing stuff that makes you, because I always liked covering, but there was always, like, when I talked with Joe Rogan on his episode, most recent one about, like the 7 or 8 year period, I was really fucking getting, like, it was getting to me because I hated the way, like, because I was covering, but dude, it just seemed like, I was getting the boot pretty bad, and it was just a time where I was really fucking testy with it. And yeah, man, when you can go, but like when you're especially when you're going back to a place that you like to deliver, while it may not be your exact route, it makes it, like, I don't know how to describe it to people that aren't in our field, but it's completely. It's like the same job, but it's completely I don't know how to describe it for somebody that, like, your work. I guess it would be like if you're maybe a teacher and I'd be like, I don't know if it'd be the same as going to a new school. Because that in our line of work, that can be way different, because you can have a country route where you're driving a shit ton of miles, or you can have a route, what we would call around here the quote unquote paperboy route, where you're knocking out 200 stops a day or 250, whatever. But yeah, and when that changes for the better, I guess what I'm getting at is that when that changes for the better, it is a major change, and when it goes for the better and not the worst, it is a huge, like it carries a lot of weight in what we do. So I'm happy that hopefully nobody. I mean, I guess there's still tomorrow. Some asshole might sign it. Just if they hear it, they could know I called him an asshole.
We have a lot of assholes.
Stay off of it. I mean, it just breeds. It breeds in. I mean, you got that, and you got an inflatable rat up there too, with something with your local. But we could get into that another time. The 130-pound fucking bed mattress happened today because we were surprise talking on the phone, and we it was walking. I don't know if shout out to Quasi if he was on the line with us. I don't know if there was the three of us, or maybe because I don't think we had talked to Greg yet. And I have a call tag, and I'd had this call tag all day, and it had been in my folder, and I hadn't really paid attention to it. And when I'm getting close, I grab it off the shelf and see it's 131 pounds, and I'm like, fuck. Because I don't, when you have a call tag, I think the first thing you do is you look at the weight and see what you're dealing with. At least I do. I never look at what it is. So Dave ends up, I read where it's from, and as I read it, I realize it's a bed mattress. So we're thinking that, we've told the story in the past on here of the mattress that was open, and it had a label slapped on it. And people thinking it's possible to literally be able to, roll up a bed mattress and put it back in a box. But this happened to be in a box, be in the packaging it was still in, which was kind of like a bag. And as we're approaching, a woman comes out, and she's older. They're an older couple. Her husband was around the back with her son and her grandson. So this mattress was in the garage. So she's telling me, she's like, whoever delivered it, it had it was ripped. And as I thought about it, I was like, cause I'll give a spoiler alert. It actually was me, that delivered it, but how we found out was hilarious. So, she's saying, whoever delivered this, then the top of it was ripped, and I could see it was damaged, and she wasn't really upset about the delivery part of it. She was more upset with the company trying to give her the runaround when she wanted to get, and she had a big mess with this thing. But anyway, so she said, I didn't see, well, obviously she did see, because this is how we found out it was me. I love this because this dude just retired now. This was me crowning fucking Whitehall and knowing this, because this was right before the buyouts happened. This is when I officially stood on the top of the mountain. But she says to me, and Dave could hear her on the phone, and she says, yeah, so it got delivered, and then a few days later, the guy backed into the driveway and had got his card out, and I think was calling to see if was going to get help, or was calling for assistance. Which I don't know if that was I don't if it was me, I never got a call. But she said to the guy, she said, well, the other guy that delivered, he just threw it over his shoulder and walked it up here. So driver said, well, that must be Luke. and she said that to me, and I'm like, well, I'm Luke. And she's like, Luke. You are? And she's fucking, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yep. And the guy threw it over his shoulder and walked it completely, just completely ignoring the 8 keys, the lifting and lowering. But I got
allegedly
to say it, I allegedly ignored the 8 keys, the lifting and lowering, when I took it out too, because I threw it over my shoulder again and took it out. Now, for the older drivers and the sticklers out there, yes, I know I shouldn't do this. And I don't do it that often, and I'm becoming more aware. And you can say that it's going to hurt my body. Well, guess fucking what? No matter if I quit this job right now and didn't do another physical labor day in my life at 40 years old, I have wrecked my body more in the 40 years than most people have in a couple lifetimes. So I'm not trying to, like, that drives me crazy when I have people, and I'm like, I've had drivers say it, and I'm like, dude, you know, I've played physical sports and done labor. I could like to say getting hit by a car with my body and totaling it was the only time I had a crazy ass car accident where I literally flew out of a car. But it's not like, dude, my body is beat the fuck up. So yeah, it was I should have grabbed my dolly. I should have grabbed my hand cart. I should have, but I kind of just I was like literally at the end of my day and wanted to get it done. And it was just funny because I said as that other driver, I said, it's hilarious that this old woman said, well, the other guy just threw it over his shoulder. And I just said, that's such an ad, just makes me feel like it's just an alpha pose. I feel like a fucking gorilla beating his chest, chasing Stoniker. I didn't chase him out. He took the buyout. I love you, John. You know I'm just messing with you. But no, that's that story. And that was literally today. That gym popped in our lap literally tonight as we recorded. That might have gotten lost in the shuffle if that had happened tomorrow.
Fuck. So good. That's so good. Yeah.
Dude, can we?
Good. You can talk about the documentary that you watched.
Oh yes, I can. All right. Yeah, I'll do, because I'm excited to talk about the Dave Sees the Future Part 2. Me being the giddy degenerate that I am. Well, I don't know like how to. I'm going to get kind of deep here, and I'm going to just give everybody I'm going to give everybody just a heads up because this is going to get kind of deep. When I say like I loved John Candy, I was as a kid. My dad liked trains, planes, and automobiles in the '80s movies that John Candy was in. All the hits he was in, Uncle Buck, Great Outdoors, and so I grew up like my first memory, like some of my first memories was watching John Candy movies with my dad. And I remember my dad sat me down. I was 9 years old. He literally sat me down when he died and told me, like, he said, I got some bad news. And dude, it's like, for me, it was like he sat me down and told it to me like it was like my uncle, you know what I mean, or something. And it was so Ryan Reynolds a couple years ago, it was like he had put out that he was doing this documentary because he's a huge John Candy fan, because John Candy is Canadian royalty, and anybody from that area, especially in the field that Ryan Reynolds is in, being an actor, like he admired John Candy a lot. So he had this documentary started and his kids were going to be in it, all of the past, Steve Martin, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hare, I mean, so many, Bill Murray, countless people, Dan Aykroyd, all these fucking people came in to talk about it, and his kids and his wife. But the thing that really hit me, and I will say this, it's not necessarily like, I don't want to say it's depressing, but dude, it's a sad documentary. But for somebody, like, a connection with it that I never knew that I had, like, with him and all this, is that his dad died when he was 5 years old. He lost his dad to a heart attack suddenly at 5, and he was only 5. I think his dad was 35. So, for me, I was 5 years old when I lost my mom when she was 34. She also died young. It wasn't sudden like his dad was. My mom had cancer, so that part was a little different. But there was something that struck me with it. And for anybody listening, that it's not like really a group you want to be in, but for anybody that lost a parent when they were a kid, especially if you're young enough to remember, there was a part in that documentary that really hit me, that it is he like there I don't want to get into the whole thing of him like with his childhood, but he had some other stuff, he was living, he didn't have a very, it was his childhood, he lived pretty poor and pretty rough, it wasn't, he didn't have an easy childhood. But there was something that I don't know if, like, he had a brother, but this was like a friend of his, and he had said something of that when you have a tragedy like that happen when you're young, but nobody wants to talk about it or tries to just move past it. When you're young like that, you don't, like, he was just saying, you carry that with you. And it's so weird because, like, I don't want to say like that people tried to tell me to move past it or anything like that, but dude, it's just a major fucking thing that happens in your life. And I don't talk about it much, but it's something that no matter how old I get, I can still remember, especially the end and the after, very like it was fucking, not like it was 35 years ago. I can remember it like it happened last week. And it's one of those things where it, as a kid, like, and this is kind of what I wanted to get out of saying this in this whole segment, with anybody that has maybe a child themselves or this happened to them or even know somebody, it was like, for a young kid, I feel like it's important to reach out and kind of, I don't want to say throw an arm around, but just, you may not want to bring it up, but I feel like it makes it better to try to talk more, like, not, I feel like, because like for me, and I'll just say, I won't get too deep into it, but with my dad, he obviously took it bad, he took it rough. And I knew he was upset, like, so, very, I mean, it was a rough time. And as a kid, like, I knew what had happened, but I didn't really, being 5 years old, you just don't know, you don't get the grasp of it. You know what I mean? Because you're still a kid, but like, you're aware, like, I knew my mom was gone. I knew that, but I couldn't, like, I didn't like to talk about it to my dad. And I don't want to say that my dad would talk to me about my mom. It's not, but like, I didn't ask him a lot because I knew the pain that he went through. And I did too with him, it was, but it's just like, I guess what I'm getting at is if you try, you might not want to do it, but, or try to think like it's a hurtful feeling, but I feel like it's good to talk to a kid, and like, he didn't have anybody. And like, for me, it was still a thing where it was hard on everybody and people, it was a bad situation. So I think you just don't know. I think a lot of adults wouldn't know how to, while I'll wrap this up, I'll just say my older sister had a friend that had got breast cancer, and she had beat it, has been in remission for years, and she's fine now. But at the time, she had a 5-year-old son and like a 2-year-old son. And I remember at that time I was like 30, 31, I was an adult. And I can remember like how hard that hit me that had happened, not only because she's a good person, she's a new mom, but I thought about her son, this is the one that was a 5-year-old. I'm like, man, it just is something that, and then it's just like, I don't know. I wish I've always wanted to be more, try to figure out a way to be more, I don't know proactive about that, but at least bring it up because it is a hard situation if people don't understand. Because it's one of those things you don't know unless you've lived it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's hard to try to but that aside from all of that, and if you were a fan of John Candy, though, I would highly suggest you watch that documentary. There's a lot of old clips. It's very good, but it's like one of those things that, just for me, being such a fan of his and realizing that like I'd had that in common with him too, and then hearing people like close to him back then talk about that and saying kind of the thing, and I was like, fuck me, that literally was exactly how like I was like, about kind of the way he went. I was like, Jesus, it literally felt, it was almost chilling, man. And I was like, that's fucking, but his son looks exactly like him. Dude, it was weird. He's got the eyes. They're doing a remake of Spaceballs, and his son is playing Barf, the John Candy's character. And what's crazy is, just to not go too deep, but dude, the whole fucking cast is back. Mel Brooks is in his 90s, dude. He's gonna be in this fucking movie. I'm just saying. But yeah, I didn't mean to go. I should have warned you before we got into that I was about to go pretty deep on that. I didn't mean to blindside you with that one, but right. It really, dude, it was something that resonated with me, and I was like, I just want to mention it because I don't know how good of a job I might have done of explaining that, but I just and to sum it up, if you know somebody or close to somebody, don't be afraid to reach out and try to, because you're upset, we're human, that makes sense to be upset and cry and be like, that is the human emotion for loss. I'm not saying, but like when kids see that, it makes them reluctant more to talk about it because they know how, like, that's how I felt about it. I just living it. You know how, so I just feel like you just reach out, as tough as it may be. But yeah, that was, again, man, should have braced, but yeah. I can say now on a lighter note, or a greener note, a
greener
put
note.
How you like that? You like the greener note? Dude, so let me just open this up for I will open this up and let you take over on it, because I want to say that I've become a bandwagon Rangers fan. So I pay attention to the Rangers because, one, it gives me to cheer against Pittsburgh here because everybody in my area loves the Pittsburgh sports teams. But, Dave being a fan, us podcasting for a long time, being friends, I'm like, I've become a bandwagon Rangers fan. I have but he had been, I'll just say he's been cooking some good ones up.
Yeah, I guess. No, so like, excuse me. So like the Rangers.
Poor guy, I'm setting him up. I'm like, you're about to cough, just keep talking.
The Rangers, at home have sucked this year. Like 0-5 now, I think at home. Something crazy.
Broke a crazy Rangers, NHL record of not scoring a goal at home for 3 games.
Right, and the Rangers were about to become like the number 1 team in NHL history to not score a goal in a certain amount of time at home. And I was saying to Luke, I was just like, there's no way they're going to let that happen. Like, they're going to come out guns blazing and like they're going to score a goal in like the first minute of the game. There's no way they're going to go down in history as being like the worst team to ever do this. And, on the sports betting apps, there is a bet that you could take where, there's a goal scored in the first 5 minutes of the game. And I was telling Luke, I was like, dude, like, it's been a while since I bet anything. Like, I'm thinking about doing this one and I'm feeling confident. Well, when I got home, I decided not to bet it. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'll pass on it. But what do those Rangers do? They score a goal 58 seconds into the game. 58 seconds. And what was even more crazier about that too is in my head, I had the picture of who was going to score that goal, and guess who scored that goal? That same guy that I thought would score it. Artemi Panarin is his name. And I was like, Artemi Panarin is going to be the one that just to open, just to let it out and let that, put that, that long drought behind them. And it happened 58 seconds into the game, but I didn't bet it.
He was convinced, dude. I just want to say, as somebody that long time better, dude, he was convinced and had, convincing and was absolutely, dude, I was so mad when he sent me the screenshot of that score and I saw it was like 19 minutes into there's still, I was like, holy shit. Dude. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
I was like, I should have bet it. I sent him the screenshot. I was like 1902 in the first already. Like, I should have bet it. But then fast forward to tonight, okay? Tonight's matchup between the Rangers and the Sharks. The Sharks have yet to win a game in regulation. The Rangers have yet to win a game at home. So something's going to give. One of those are going to give, right? But what always happens to the Rangers is these teams come into Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, whatever, and like they play good. And that's what's been going on so far this year. And I'm telling Luke, I'm like, I think the Sharks are going to win tonight. Like, I think the Rangers are going to be upset, And so what do? I pull out the Sportsbook app. I deleted the fucking apps after that one game too. I deleted the apps. I was like, I don't need these on my phone.
After the 58-second goal score,
yeah, I deleted the apps. I was like, I don't need to do this. Well, tonight I was like, no, the Sharks are gonna fucking upset the Rangers. The Rangers are still gonna be winless at home. I re-downloaded the DraftKings app. That's when you have a problem. No, I'm just kidding. I re-downloaded the DraftKings app.
He's back.
Not
again,
a sponsor.
Boys.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
DraftKings not a sponsor. But I re-downloaded the DraftKings app. And I was like, someone who was pissed off in the last game in the media scrum when all the media members are talking to all the different players. One player that was really pissed off in his interview was the one player named Mika Zibanejad for the Rangers. And he was you could tell the tone of his voice, the way he was answering questions. He was pissed that he didn't do anything that game. And I was like, this guy's going to fucking score tonight. And the Rangers are going to lose. This guy's going to score for the Rangers, and the Rangers are going to lose. So I re-downloaded the app, and I bet on the San Jose Sharks to beat the Rangers and Mika Zibanejad to score a goal. And what happens tonight? The San Jose Sharks beat the Rangers, and Mika Zibanejad scored a goal. So, I'm calling the shots as they come here for this fucking team right now.
Dude.
Dave Stradamus over here just unleashing all the good.
And you said 90% of the bets were on the Rangers, and I told him, I was 89. Like, dude, I was convinced. I wasn't convinced. Yeah. He had me convinced with the 5-minute goal thing. I wasn't feeling. I was like, I don't know, man. It's like, this is a winless team. Eventually, the Rangers are gonna. But I don't know. As I say, I'm a bandwagon fan. I don't know this team like Dave does, or the history just of the franchise. But I told him, I'm like, dude, when you bet against your team, when you have a bad feeling and if they win, great. And if they lose, at least you won some money. And it's one of the best consolations you can have, dude.
Yep.
Because I swear, man, I can only remember one time with West Virginia when we were still kicking ass in the Big East years ago. East Carolina, for some reason, always played us tough. And I remember we were spotting them 22. And I was like, oh, God, I can't see 3 touchdowns. I don't know. So I took East Carolina. We ended up winning by 17 or something. So it was great. They fucking covered the spread with West Virginia. So, yeah, there's always – I know that's kind of – they can't do that in hockey, though, unless you take the puck line or something. But it'd be You can't do that in hockey or baseball. But yeah, Dave is absolutely on fire right now with Rangers prop bets. You just need to fucking start winning. Plus 220. That's a hell of a fucking that's a big. They were almost 3-1 favorites in a regular season game. That's a big favorite, dude. Everybody was on New York.
It was plus 220 for San Jose to win, and a plus 1,000 for anytime goal scorer Mika Zibanejad. Parlayed that bitch together, plus 1,200. I only dropped $5 on it, $165. So hey, I'll take it. Thanks a lot, DraftKings.
That's why I was laughing. Rangers. That's why I was laughing when he said when he re-downloaded it after re-downloading it and deleting that he had a problem. And I knew how much you bet on it, and I'm just chuckling in my head like, nah, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah,
shit.
You want to get into the question of the week?
Yes. Yeah, let's get into the question of the week.
All right. Pretty sure we got little comments everywhere. A couple, maybe 1 or 2 on Facebook, a few on Instagram, and a few on the Discord. So
I'll get on.
Let's start reading them. Where are we here? Here we are. Bam. All right. Excuse me. I'm going to be coughing all night here. The question of the week. First of all, shout out to everybody that commented. Discord, Instagram, Facebook. Thank you guys so much. You guys are freaking awesome. And I enjoy reading them, and I know Luke enjoys hearing them.
Absolutely.
Always a good time here. So, all right. The question of the week this week is, you win the lottery. Hooray. But how do you quit UPS? Let's see what some people had to say, shall we? On the Discord, we'll start with the Discord here. On the Discord, this one comes from Thomas. Thomas says, Thomas said, not him, but this is actually a true story from someone who has quit. He says that there was a guy who actually flattened all 4 tires on the truck and then left a note on the steering wheel. But UPS had to tow the package car because they thought that the guy slashed tires flat. I mean, that's great.
That's fucking awesome, man.
That's great.
God, that's incredible.
Yep. This next one's from Lucas. Lucas says he would ship himself inside of an E-Reg straight to Hawaii and then give my driver a firm handshake when I get delivered. Good.
He must weigh under 150 pounds then, man, because I couldn't do that.
I know, right?
We don't have freight anymore. They'd have to put my fucking fat ass on a skid somewhere.
God damn it. Balco says the whole center would quit because it was a ton of money, and I'd offer everyone a real buyout.
Oh, good for you, Mr. Philanthropy here. You think your coworkers could say the same? That's what I'm asking you. I guess, I mean, if you won the last one, what the fuck was the power? It was $1 billion, so yeah, I guess you could swing at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one here is from, I think it's pronounced Mattisman. Says, forget the dyad in the building. Disconnect telematics. Drive until the truck runs out of gas. Throw the keys as far as I can. And then have a limo pick me up. I like it.
Nice.
I like it. This one here is from that dude, Luke. What up, Luke? Luke says, show up for work with a catering staff so I can throw myself an impromptu retirement party and tell them I'm done. Then give a few of my friends a few million each to retire with me on the spot. Hopefully right in the middle, a peak.
Fuck yeah. I love how everybody is circling around just fucking making sure like they're taking care of other drivers, but making sure they're saying this thing is it fuck everything up. I appreciate the honesty. I love it.
You got one for Facebook, right? You got that pulled up?
I have.
You want to read that one quick for me?
I absolutely will. I
Please
know,
do.
brother. Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. This is from our good friend, Patreon member, Tony Cook. Tony says, I don't quit. I show up and do all of the dumb shit people get fired for over and over. As far as the imagination can go, like deliver the whole route and scan nothing. Or maybe scan everything at every stop and not deliver anything. I don't know. The sky's the limit. I make them earn the chance to fire me. Tony Cook. Fucking well said, brother. Well said.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That was the only one, right?
That was the only one, yeah.
All right, thank you. This one here again on the Discord is from Will Flow. Will Flow says, start off by asking for 12 hours 12 hours of work, drive out to the route, lock the keys in the back, mark every label so it won't scan, make sure there's no dolly, reload the truck like Stevie Wonder loaded it, and then call them at 10:29 to quit and just walk home.
Fuck yeah. I love it.
That was very thought out.
It was. It was.
Starla, what up, Starla? Starla from the Discord says, am I weird for thinking I wouldn't quit? I think it's because I still want good insurance, so I would just ask to work local sort or something.
Dude, I've told Dave this, that one of the guys I work with said that one time that he would stay on for the insurance. And Starla, I'm just going to say, if you win $1 billion and you're staying on for insurance, I mean, I guess in a sense I get it, but you're going to be good. You're going to be fine. You win that billion. I'll tell you right now, if you would win that billion and offer me a couple $1 million, but we're going to stay on to for the insurance, I'd probably give you, I don't know if I'd give it all to you back. If you offered me $2 million, I'd probably give you at least $1 million. I'd give you $1 million back. Be like, here, just take this and put this towards your insurance, because I wouldn't want you to go back to work. But you're not alone in that answer, because I've heard that before in my own building.
Yep. This one here is from Jet. Jet says, I'd really have to sit and think on this. A lot of the answers here would affect other drivers, mechanics, and warehouse workers. But if I quit, I want to smack management in the mouth. I don't want to give them something they can solve by giving direction and making phone calls.
Nice.
Yep. And I think that was all of them in the Discord. Moving on to, last but not least, Instagram. Here we go. This one is, I wonder how many people commented on Instagram and the Discord chat that were the same people. Let's see. Let's see if anybody did. This one here is from Girl Dad. What up, what up? He says, drive it to where my route has no service. Send a message before I reach that area that I'm done, and I'm sure a green light will pop up in that process. Yep. This one here is from Samantha. Samantha says, I changed my identity. This one here is from John Kalebog 4.
It must
John,
be new.
hi John. It must be new because I've definitely never read that one before. John says, I don't. I just stopped coming in. I vanished.
Yeah, I like that.
Can't wait to read this one. This one's from Union Box Smashers. Union Box Smashers says, I'd act like it's a normal shift and ask everyone for $1. Anyone who gives me one gets 1,000 back. But at the end of the day, I'd ride out on the belt, tossing singles, and hand every driver a Yeti cooler and a shoe voucher.
Start them a pizza party.
Yeah, might as well. While you're at it.
That's a good answer.
This person always has good answers. Jesus Christ. This one here is from DJ Creator. What up? Says, Monday it would be a no call, no show. Will not answer my phone. and then show up right before PCM Tuesday morning in my new Lotus and turn in my Browns. I'm good, bud. This next one is from a dad in the life. What up? He says, I'd reroute those blue and white poop box returns to anyone at this job who has done me wrong, and then shit in a suitcase full of pennies and send them to you-know-who. Seriously, though, because jail sucks, I'd really just not give 2 weeks' notice and quit on the spot.
There you go, Albert. But that's a good one. Shit in a suitcase of penny. Well, I love where your head's at.
This one here is from our one and only DHL driver listener, Rick Star. What up, Rick? Rick says, management has been good to me, so I would just tell them, hey, after this week, I'm done. Invite them and my coworkers to a good dinner. Then move to my recent... Fuck me. And then move to my recently purchased small home in the desolate Midwest. But to the people in my route that I have to deal with daily, I would fucking go off on them, telling them they're entitled, snobby pricks and wouldn't know what a blue-collar job is, even if it bit them in the ass. Then tell them they won't have to see me anymore. Damn.
Oh, I love it.
Tell us how you really feel, Rick.
I fucking love it, Rick. I love it. Yeah. About to be fucking worth more than all of them.
Yeah.
I think my mic was muted at the beginning of those because I was trying. I don't think, but we've had some banger answers there.
We have. This one is from Andy Von Six. What's up, Miss Von
What's
Six?
up, Andy?
Andy says, throw a huge party for the people I actually like and do it waiting. Do it waiting style to the people I don't like. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Yep.
Oh, man. I love it. Good answer.
Following Miss Von Six, we have Porno Parcel. What up, RJ? RJ says, first I'd walk on every moving belt into a hub until I got written up. And then I'd give all my favorite customers $1,000 each. Once I finished my deliveries, I would call my least favorite supervisor and say, the keys and dyad will be locked in the truck. Fuck you and have a nice day. Then order a limo stocked with every alcohol known to man and enjoy the ride home.
Well, he's got a long ass drive home, so he would, man. He'd stock that thing up. He got an 80 plus mile drive, so that'd be a fun fucking ride, man. God, that'd be nice.
This one here is in PNW. UPS man says, show up like normal, get to the farthest point on my route. Message, I'm done, and Uber home.
Nice. I love it.
This one here is from Rocky Mountain Rots. Rocky Mountain Rots says, act like everything is normal, go out, run my air, then just leave the truck and never say anything. Oh, man. If any of these drivers actually win the lottery, their center's so fucked. They're just going to dump it.
I know.
Last but not least, this one's from Gibby the Greek. What up, Gibby? Gibby says, on the day that is projected to be peak day, which will probably be 2 days after that, I would park my pickup next to the guard shack in front of our building with a portable fire pit and a keg of beer in the bed of the truck. A billboard sign of my winning ticket would stand tall with a message underneath that says, I've got $500 cash for every driver that calls in sick today while we burn my Browns and have a beer.
The fucking incredible. Oh, I love it.
One. And that's every single response that we had. So, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely.
Appreciate everybody's responses. But, yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up, buddy.
Well, I want to say just before we go, because this literally happened today, and we don't really like to leave, we always, there's sad notes, but in our world of the cardboard community and with the delivery brothers and sisters out there, we unfortunately, I didn't even realize this till you said that, and I looked. There were 2 drivers that passed away today that died on the job, and
One of them did. One of them did, and one of them was off on.
Oh, sorry.
One of them was actually out injured, and he died in his personal car.
Sorry, he was in a car. Okay. Sorry, I misread that. Then, yep. Okay. So what? And he was Jeremy Cook. Jeremy Cook is his name, and that was so he was at a local 767.
Yep.
And look, yeah. So I didn't. Yeah, that one. So that was a car accident in his personal vehicle. Okay, that popped up in
both
the Discord.
Both of them from the same local.
Both of them are in the same fucking local. No
yes.
Shit.
Yeah, shout out to Starla.
Dude,
Starla said they were both of these drivers, both of these employees of UPS, both died today. Areas of the locations of both the accidents were within an hour from each other.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if it was the same hub or not, but definitely it was local 767.
And the second driver, her name was Dusty Souls, and she did get hit. She had an accident on the road and passed away today. Man, that's crazy. I didn't notice they were from the same local, but and I mean, it's one of those things that, it always hits home to try to, we always want to be safe and do the best we can, but it's always like, it's just that stark, unfortunate reminder that, what we do can be still dangerous. Just being on the road, driving in general is dangerous, obviously, not just what we do in a package car, but when you literally drive every day for a living, your chances of accidents are obviously higher than people that don't drive for a living. So I speak to everybody, obviously, but yeah, I don't know, man. I can't believe that literally two in the same day. We just wanted to send our condolences and give our our thoughts to their families, and just have it's just try. I mean, it literally just happened. So to say try to move on, I don't like to say that this is too fresh. They've got to do the shock of it. It's probably fucking bad enough, but we're thinking about you, and just for the people that would know them or close to them, we just wanted to give our condolences on that.
Yep. And that'll wrap this one up. Guys, be safe out there, okay? Like Luke said, those hit home when you see those and hear about those accidents. Because, seeing the condition of Dusty's truck when, that accident happened
was bad.
Because you look in the back of your truck and you're like, holy shit. Like, so, rest in peace to those two cardboard warriors, huh?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Guys, like I said, be safe out there. Next week, we're going to talk about quarterly earnings for sure. Halloween's coming up. So that's going to be an interesting one to definitely talk about and see what happens with those quarterly earnings and all that good stuff. So, everybody, I'm Dave, my co-host Luke. See you guys next week.
Later, everybody.